They were the superstars of ancient Rome, but not in the way you'd expect. Far from ragtag brawlers, gladiators were highly trained athletes with carefully designed routines, specialized diets, and a cult-like following. Beneath the roar of the crowd lay a tightly controlled system that forged men into durable, crowd-pleasing warriors, and the results were more shocking than you'd imagine. Gladiators came from every corner of Rome's underbelly. Slaves, convicted criminals, and captured soldiers formed the bulk of recruits, but some free citizens volunteered for a shot at glory. Signing up meant sacrificing one's freedom, yet the chance to eat well, stay healthy, and possibly become rich or famous proved irresistible for many. In fact, gladiators were so valuable that top-level fighters were worth as much as 3 or 4 years of a legionary's salary, driving recruiters to be picky and strategic about who they chose. Nobody was thrown straight into the arena. Newcomers, known as tiro, went through relentless physical and mental preparation in the gladiator school, or ludus. Their entire mission was to bulk up, improve endurance, and master the flashy combat, moves that electrified the crowds. Unlike Roman legionaries who prioritized raw battlefield stamina, gladiators needed to look powerful under the spotlight, and that meant focusing on muscle definition, posture, and showmanship. Most gladiators followed a 4-day cycle borrowed from ancient Greek athletes. Day 1, preparatory drills, short but intense exercises. Day 2, brutal, high-endurance workouts pushing the body to its limit. Day 3, rest and light movement, letting muscles recover. Day 4, medium-level exercises before the cycle repeated. Their trainers instinctively understood that constant intensity without recovery leads to burnout. In modern terms, this was an early glimpse of the supercompensation principle, where rest and effort balance out to build strength faster. Dumbbells, squats, and compound lifts were staples, sometimes hitting weights of over 200 pounds, an astonishing load for the ancient world. Still, raw strength wasn't enough. Gladiators had to fight with precision and flair. The wooden post, or palus, became a gladiator's best friend, allowing endless practice strikes and defense drills without injuring a sparring partner. Once they could handle the basics, rookies faced off against each other or against the doctor, the master trainer, to refine technique. Strategy mattered as much as power. Audiences didn't just want blood, they wanted drama, agility, and the art of feint and counter. Swords for practice were often double the real weight, building the kind of stamina and muscle memory that could decide life or death in the ring. After proving themselves in these early tests, the real challenge began, the final classification that would decide their fate. Once a rookie passed the initial trials, they were assigned to a specific gladiator class. Each class had a trademark set of gear, strengths, and vulnerabilities, like a strategic board game. Murmillo gladiators wore heavy helmets and carried big shields, strong against lightly armored opponents but slow and restricted. Retiarius fighters used nets and tridents, relying on speed and cunning. Provocatores specialized in bulky armor and heavier weapons, but had to contend with narrow vision. This meticulous matchmaking fueled every showdown with tension. No one could be sure which style or tactic might prevail. It was thrilling to watch, but the training only got tougher once a gladiator's path was set. From dragging their feet to avoid tripping in giant helmets, to practicing lightning-fast net throws, each gladiator focused on perfecting the tactics that suited their armor and weapons. By never sparring outside their own class, they stayed on edge for any surprise that a rival style might bring. This approach made each arena match unpredictable. Quick upsets could happen when an underdog discovered a new way to ambush a heavyweight foe. Their routines crafted terrifying physiques, but some of those muscles came at a cost. Ancient doctors noticed that gladiators were often strangely built, exaggerated arm muscles on one side, unusually thick necks from wearing heavy helmets, and plenty of body fat. This fat wasn't just from inactivity, it acted like extra padding, providing a buffer against minor cuts and bruises. That meant fewer fatal injuries, longer fights, and more blood. Rome relished the spectacle of crimson on sand, and carrying extra weight helped gladiators deliver the crowd-pleasing carnage without dropping dead every match. Transition. If you're wondering how they packed on so many calories, the answer lies in their surprising diet. They were nicknamed the Barley Men for a reason. Most of their meals came from grains, beans, and vegetables. This might sound too humble for an elite athlete, but it supplied massive amounts of carbs and protein. Eating 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day kept them bulky, and they even drank a strange ash and bone shake for extra calcium. Meat was an occasional luxury, usually from arena animals like lions or ostriches, less a delicacy and more a way for the managers to save money by repurposing carcasses. Tough training, specialized diets, and dramatic flair formed the backbone of the gladiators' world. But there was something else that made them legends. Gladiators were far more than ruthless showmen. They were dedicated, strategic, and sometimes even idolized for their unwavering commitment. Every swing of the sword, every drop of sweat, and every roar from the stands came from a system that saw these fighters as prized assets and their matches as must-watch drama. Though the arenas have fallen silent, the legacy of these ancient athletes reminds us how far people will go for glory, survival, and a chance at immortality in history. If this exploration intrigued you, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the ancient world and beyond.